Thursday, June 11th, 2020. It is, we're called to order at 6:02 p.m. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson, excuse me, is absent. Director Kelly?
Here.
Director Schoenberg?
Present.
And Director Nyman is here. We do have a quorum, so we can still go forward. Discussion vote, do we need to adjust the agenda at all?
No, we can cover whatever when it comes.
I think we need to do number 9. We need to table number 9 for the budget.
Well, we'll talk about that when we get to it. So I think we need to still talk about it. So that's a subject we can talk about. Okay. Any public comments?
No.
No? Okay.
Or to public.
All right. Okay. Report of the president's absent. I'm the vice president. I have nothing to report. The secretary has nothing. The treasurer?
I don't think I have anything additional at this point.
And the JPIA representative is absent. Are there any board, number 5, any board member initiatives? Okay, on to the manager's report.
All right. The first thing, actually some of this is an agenda item, so I just want to tell you guys that I hired a front desk billing clerk. She went down and did her physical and her drug screen, and she's going to start work for sure on Monday. She may be able to get a little bit of training time in with Tiffany before next week, but we'll see how that goes. We're going to try to do that. We have 2 claims against us. A wolf tank, a pipe came apart, flooded through a guy's yard, washed out his driveway up against his house, broke a fence, down through that and then into another yard. So they both turned in claims. So I turned that over to JPIA. When I was up there looking around more, that pipe is so dilapidated, especially there's underground, they're called clay valve pits, and the piping in there is really rusty and wasted too. So, and plus the whole booster house had to be rebuilt. We don't have a crew to do that right now. Dee is on vacation. I want to try to get Dee up here to take a look at it and tell us what to do with it. Basically, the clay valve pits need to be brought above ground, and then a slab poured and a little building built. But I think that in order to avoid this situation in the future, we're going to have to do some kind of flooding mitigation effort up there, whether it's a culvert or something to derail the water from running straight down the hillside through the people's yard. So that's definitely unfortunate. But all we can do is just move forward and see what we can do about it. We had some leaks down on Julian Trail. It took moving all night long to fix those. It seems like a lot of these trails are just springing leak after leak after leak. Manita Trail, that's later on an agenda item, but that thing is again, and so we're gonna have to do something about that as well. So we're down to just Logan in the field and me helping out. I'm gonna run an ad in next week's paper for another field hand, hopefully somebody with some experience. One of our employees is out on workman's comp from hurting his neck, and his back, so he's out until at least the 18th. So between now and then, it's just me and Logan trying to field everything. That's all I got, unless you have a question. Oh, one more thing. The front counter, I brought up before about enclosing the front counter. To enclose the front counter with the first quote I got, it was $10,000. So obviously that wasn't going to work. So I talked to Mike Khalil from Don's and asked him who he used to enclose all of his markets and stores and stuff. So he came and took measurements, and he gave me a guy. Tiffany's got a couple of pictures, I think, but I don't know if you need to see them. But to go cheaper without using real glass, using plexiglass and wood framing and everything, and enclosing the front counter, the side counter, and putting in a full-size door, it came to $3,000 for it. So I think we need to move forward with that. Now with the COVID, before it was pressing just to try to separate the customers from the front desk, but now we have the whole COVID issue where you got to have the separation between the customer and you. So unless somebody feels like I need to make it an agenda item, I'd like to proceed with that.
Any discussion on this?
I think we need to discuss it.
Director Schoenberg?
Oh, it sounds like, Director Kelly wants to discuss.
Yeah, that's good. I just didn't know if we wanted a agenda item and to vote like that, or if you just wanted to discuss and ask me questions or whatever.
Well, if we need to discuss it, we need to make it an agenda item, so.
Oh, okay, that's true. Okay, well, I'll put it on, I'll put it on the next regular meeting then.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a really long discussion. Can we just put it on the planning meeting so we can move forward with it fairly?
Will you put that on the next planning meeting, Tiffany?
Yep,
I'm sure
I'll do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's meeting there now.
Because you want to move forward with that fairly rapidly, so if we want to reopen, we have that.
Exactly, yeah, that's exactly why I want to do it. Plus, I want the pricing while it's still good, going through Mike's connection down in the valley.
Okay. And can we see pictures of what he's gonna do? What is that gonna look like?
It's gonna be 3 sections on the front counter with a 5-inch, slot in each section of the front window, so there'll be 3 slide-through places. One is gonna have the credit card machine, and another one so you can hand paperwork in and out. Then the side counter where the crew stands and talks and stuff, that's gonna be glassed off with the same kind of slide-through, and then that little half-swinging door. The concern before was these angry customers that go in there yelling and screaming, that if they wanted to, they could just walk right on the counter. So the guy said, only for the cost of the door, he'll install it for free if we have him do the rest, and we're gonna put a regular full-length door right there. Oh, there's some pictures. That's the side counter one. Obviously, it's turned sideways. It'd be standing straight up and down.
Alright, okay. Alrighty.
And there's the front counter. So yeah, we'll have it on the next agenda.
Okay, great. Administrative assistance report?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So a lot of customers have been requesting that their e-bills show their usage, how much water they use as far as what they're getting billed for. And we haven't previously been able to do that. Our online transaction warehouse wasn't capable, but they have gotten so many requests from other utilities that they're going to start incorporating that. So as a first step, now anybody who has an online account can go into their billing history, and it'll show them how much water they used each month. And then moving forward, they're actually writing it in so that when we send out our e-bills, our email bills, they'll be able to see the usage on that as well. So that's coming forward. And that's it for my report.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty, on to number 7, ad hoc committees, meeting the local water companies, that's still on hold. Sigma, there hasn't been anything, we haven't done anything on the the depreciation of assets, and, project committee. What is project committee? Is that?
Not today, that's all of the different projects. So the ad hoc met just a little while ago with Dave Warner and Oscar Cisneros, and also Curtis Skaggs from
D. Jasper and Associates.
and a couple of other people, Johnny, myself, and Director Nyman. And basically we were discussing the application for the replacement well and for the USDA loan grant. And so there were some issues with the just some questions actually in regard to some of the amounts that need to be put in, whether the PER was accurate or not. And also, so that Oscar Cisneros is going to look back over that and resend everything out tomorrow, because there were some questions that Al Corleone had from the USDA. And so that's going to, he's going to address those questions. He's going to send that information out. And then we have another meeting on Monday at 8:30 a.m. to go back over those figures to make sure everything in the PER is accurate. Did I cover it?
Yes, I think you covered it splendidly. I think just one other thing I'd add is that some of the numbers is basically that he wanted to know the operating and maintenance costs going forward into 21 and 22 after the project is done, along with what our projected income was. So those are some of the numbers that we're looking at. So and we'll have to drill down on that and get that information back to him. Other than that, the application has been submitted and it is active with the USDA at this point. So we're moving forward.
Let me say one more thing. The USDA actually was questioning the calculations a little bit, but it was because they were including the amount that we raised the water rates, but we voted not to raise the water rates for 2020, so that additional amount was included in the USDA's calculations, but is not accurate.
Okay. All right, on to financial business. 8, accounts payable and financial information.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Linda.
Okay, good. You can hear me. Super. Alrighty. The total cash in equivalent is $1,860,159 even. The operating account as of May 31, 2020 was $188,411.40. The total bills paid in the packet for tonight total $38,241.28. They're pretty much the normal bills. The only thing is that was a little different was RVS was our annual fee came up for $2,186, but that's our annual maintenance fee. So other than that, everything else was pretty much in line. The balance after deposits through today and after this check run, the balance in the account is $178,204.18. So I'm thinking, but I won't know for sure until I double check some of my figures. It probably, if not in July, in August, we should be able to do another 50,000 transfer into emergency fund. So I'll be able to let you know that for sure. either at the next meeting or the next general meeting. The other thing I already have started the process in preparing for year-end closing. And in that process, last week, I was getting ready to start working on the proposed budget, but there was an issue with the computer.
Okay, we'll get on, Linda, let's get on to that one next.
Oh, okay.
That's number 9 on the agenda.
Oh, okay.
Let's finish up with the bills for tonight. I reviewed all the bills and I'm okay with them. I also went over them with Director Schoenberg, so I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It's just our basic, our electric bill, gas bill, our state compensation, those type of bills. Director Schoenberg, did you have anything to add?
No.
Okay. So with that in mind, I would entertain a motion to pay our bills.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. I do have one question. Before we pay the bills, for General Manager Allison, I just had a question in regard to. So we've been buying a lot of supplies, COVID-based supplies, and I'm just wondering if we're pretty stocked up now, where we will be able to do a little less of that.
Yeah, we are. What had happened was during the height of the COVID, I would go on these websites and I would order, and then they wouldn't tell you until later that it was back ordered. So then, when I finally did get stuff, now this stuff has been coming in, it was back ordered. So now we have masks, we have disinfecting wipes, we have disinfecting spray. So yes, I haven't bought any more new. This is just back order stuff coming in.
Okay. Yeah, because we had ordered a couple of things we'd gotten a couple sanitizers from Ace Hardware, which is fine. I figured that was in the interim before we got got the sanitizer from.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
So okay, that's not a problem.
You're welcome to come in and look at the stockpile.
No, I saw it when I was in there.
Oh,
I just like to make sure that we get it out of that hallway so that it's not accessible to other people, because I don't want somebody deciding to walk off with a bottle or two,
Yeah, before we ever open the office, all that stuff is going to be put back in order. It's going to be moved soon.
Okay. All right. So with that, I would entertain a motion to pay our bills.
I'd like to move that we go ahead and pay our bills as written.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Kelling has seconded it. Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson is absent. Director Kelling.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. So motion carried 3-0-2. 2 absent. Okay. Our bills will be paid. Anything that needs I'll be bringing around the checks after the meeting so that I can get signatures, and we'll get that accomplished. Okay, now on to number 9, which is our
The
proposed budget for fiscal year 2020 to June 2021.
So I had started working on that last week, and when I went to go actually start putting it into the document, I was not able to get into any of my documents that were other than QuickBooks, and it turned out that something weird happened. It got partitioned off, but Bill Bice corrected it, and so I will be able to finish it next week, and so I could either have it ready for the next meeting, or if you want it sooner, can email it to everyone prior, by the end of next week, whatever.
I would like it emailed to us, so that way we can start reviewing. Yeah, Director
Generally,
Schoenberg.
sorry about that. Generally, we have a ad hoc that goes over the budget with our general manager and takes a look at everything, because I know that there are going to be some issues with, I know generally, Linda, you put about a 5% increase on it, but I know we have some additional fencing and all kinds of, we have some additional costs that are going to come up that are not our usual costs. And also, anyway, we generally go over before we do the full board. So I think that we should put that in place, whoever's going to do that. I mean, I know I'm generally a part of that, if I'm treasurer, which I'm treasurer right now. And I don't know who else is willing to do that.
I'm willing to be on it, but if anybody else wants to step up, they can.
Well, I start back to work next week.
Okay, so.
All right, so it'll probably be.
So I think we're willing to do it, but what we'll need is that to be on the agenda so we can vote on and then disband as soon as we're done with the budget, that ad hoc. So, because it doesn't currently exist right now. So it just needs to be on the next, I guess we can do that on the planning meeting. And Linda, if you can get it to us so we can start looking it over ahead of time.
Or we can revisit it if Director Gibson comes back, if she gets back in time to come on to the meeting. I don't know if she will, so.
But we still need all the directors present in order to get the ad hoc, because theoretically you and I should abstain from that.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll get it done by the end of next week of the proposed draft.
So we want to have that on the planning meeting though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just.
Because we need to get on this right away.
Correct.
Okay, is that it? All right, we'll move on to number 10. Discussion vote on replacing pipeline on Manita Trail.
I don't have a price for you on that. I talked to Santana about some other stuff, and it's looking like about $250 an hour, but to be honest with you, doing field work and office work, I haven't had a chance to address that, so I'll have to get that to you later.
Okay, so
can we table that? I'd like to move that we table number 10, or carry it over, not table it. Let's carry over item number 10 to our next meeting, before our next regular meeting, Johnny?
No, I'd say just the next regular meeting.
okay. Do I hear a second?
I second that.
All right, Director Kelly, second is it. This is tough. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson is absent. Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
And Director Nyman's an aye. So we will cover that on the next regular planning. Okay. 11.
Next regular meeting.
The next regular meeting, excuse me. 11, discussion vote on quote for portable load bank for the generator.
Okay, Linda was gonna see what it cost the last time we got that thing serviced. I don't know if she's had a chance to do that or not.
I had already talked to Brahma about that. I was not able to find out exactly what other repairs and maintenance, what they actually, equipment they went to. So I was not able to do that.
Alright, yeah, and I'm not sure that they actually did the load banking that time, but that's when they told us about having to do it. And the only reason it's still on there for you to decide is because when we get to number 14, depending on what you decide there, if we were to, if you guys were to vote yes on number 14, then from a maintenance standpoint, we would have to have the portable load bank. because it's a small well relatively, and it'll wet stack eventually, so, I don't know how you wanna handle that or not.
I have a question.
Yeah,
So, Linda, I know that you can't look it up on the computer, but we have all of the different receipts for each thing for the year. Are you able to pull out those receipts so that we can get an idea of what we're
Well,
spending?
if I knew which vendors that it would be with, that would help. Then I could look at each of the individual ones, and the next thing it would have to say on those invoices that it was specifically for the generator. So if it has those two, if I have those two pieces of information, yes, I could do that.
it's only gonna be, one vendor and one work order, so that'll be easy to look up, but so we could table this until the next meeting as well.
Okay, so do you know who that vendor is, Johnny?
It's called Yale.
Yale,
Yeah.
Y-A-L-E, like in the college? Okay. All right, well, that should be easy, because I don't think I've done very many for him.
No, I think it's only one, they only came up to one
Okay.
time.
Okay,
So
I entertain, go ahead, Director
I'd
Schoenberg.
like to move that we table item number 11 to our next regular meeting.
Okay, do I hear a second? All right, Director Kelly is seconding it. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia is absent, Director Gibson is absent, Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
and Director Nyman's an aye. So, motion carried, 3-0-2, 2 absent. So that'll be tabled till the next regular meeting. Okay, on to number 12, new business. Discussion vote on Monta Vista well status change.
Okay, with that, as you know, when we thought that the piping was gonna work, we changed the status to, active so we could actually try to use the well. Well, we were unable to do that. There's a lot of money that's gonna have to go into that to try to make it happen. And now currently it's costing us more money, simply because we have to do more testing, we have to do a bunch of stuff. So I talked to Jesse Dollywall and asked him about just making it, inactive or, whatever the lowest form of active is, whatever he wants to make it. And he recommended that I run it by the board and make sure it's okay with you guys. But, it's doing us no good, nor is it gonna do us any good, except for maybe in the most dire of an emergency, and then we could run portable piping to it.
So I'd like to make a motion.
Director Schoenberg,
I'd like to move that we have our general manager do whatever's necessary to change the active status that it currently has down to, you're saying the least active, right?
Yeah, it's the least active, so there's the least amount of, oversight on it.
So yeah, that's my motion, to be able to go ahead and give it a status change down to the, what our general manager is recommending, least active.
do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Kelly has seconded it. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia is absent, Director Gibson is absent, Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye, motion carried, 3-0-2, 2 absent. Okay, 13, discussion vote on claims from the water leak.
Okay, I briefly covered that, but, initially I was gonna try to just have us, handle it, and, we did do some cleanup, and I was gonna have the fence company that's coming in to replace the fence that had gotten busted, but then it was called into question whether or not the septic tank was affected, and then his neighbor filed a claim and said that it ran behind his, retaining wall, and he's concerned about the integrity of the retaining wall and the foundation of the slab. So at that point, I just turned it over to, insurance and spoke to them, and they're assigning an adjuster that'll come out and actually investigate it and look at it, and they'll take it from here.
Okay. I think that's the best course of action, because it seems like it's getting a little deeper and they need an adjuster to look at it.
Yeah, because I don't have the qualifications to determine structural integrity of things, and it's
Exactly.
something else to do it.
Okay.
So do we actually need a vote on this, because you've already turned it over to the insurance company?
No, you don't have to. It was more informational than anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, on to number 14, discuss vote on lending or renting portable generator to Crystal Mutual Water Company.
Yeah, it had been brought up before on how we could help neighboring communities, the water companies and stuff. And one of the ways could be loaning out or renting out the generator for cost. They would have to pay an operator, because our insurance has stated before that if our equipment is used somewhere else, that's fine, it's covered, as long as it's operated by an operator from the district. So you guys would have to come to some type of, unfortunately Pam's not on tonight, you guys would have to come to some dollar amount for that. She did have the electrical panel wired by P&J, they wired ours, so in the case that they did need something, our electrical cords are color coded to match theirs, so there's no risk of danger or hurting the equipment or anything. This came up because a lot of times PG&E has power outages where AT&T doesn't, SCE doesn't. So if they're out of water, a lot of times they can't get a generator in time, so we could just run ours down there if we didn't need it at the time, and we might be able to recoup some costs for maintenance and things of that nature if we did that. So without having dollar amounts or anything set, and without me notifying Pam, because usually she's on here, I guess we're gonna have to table that.
Yeah, because I think also we need to have more, we have to have the other directors to have a discussion on this. This is something that I wouldn't be willing to vote on tonight,
Yeah, this is the information at this point.
I do want to say something to that effect, is that we were told, because we're a public utility district, which is different than what type of company they are, that we cannot lend, even though we had talked about, mutual lending, that we're not really able to lend back and forth. They're able to lend with each other if they're mutual, but we're not able to lend from a public utility district, but we are able to rent. We would have to come up with with some kind of cost, we'd have to figure out a cost estimate, and for both an operator and the actual generator costs, or if they had an operator, what we would have to,
No, their operator can't do it. For our insurance to cover, our operator has to do it.
Okay, so we would have to come up with cost figures for that, because that was one of the things in the water meetings that we were doing that came up in regard to, I forgot who brought that up to us, but then we kind of checked with that, and because we're a public utility district and our consumers pay into all of our costs, we're not a private company, we do need to do that.
Well, no, we actually determined after that, I could reaffirm with Alan, but I remember you having me check with Alan, and he said that if the board decided to loan something, as long as it wasn't costing the district money, that we could still loan things as long as it was returned or paid for.
Right, but on a generator, theoretically, we could be costing the district money.
Oh, yeah. On a generator.
Yeah.
And my other concern with loaning out that generator would be more security, as because somebody would have to be with it, being secure. That's a costly $80,000 piece of equipment that I wouldn't want coming up missing because we left it at a site, or they left it at their site, and how would they secure it, and how would we make sure that...
Well, in 10 ways, if we use it in our district, there has to be times of it not being supervised. It has to run because it takes several hours to fill a tank, and you got to be running, doing them stuff. So you would just have to chain it up, just like when you ran from Herc Rentals or US Rentals, they park them there, they run them, they're hooked up, and it takes a pretty big truck to steal that thing. So I don't know, if we're gonna do it, maybe we want to put a GPS tracker on it or something of that nature.
Well, I just wanted to just, throw that in there for the mix, and that would be part of the discussion, so.
Yeah, of course.
But, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and table this. I would entertain a motion.
Director Schoenberg, I'll move that we carry this over, since we already started discussing it, to our next
Regular. And I hear a second?
I second that.
Okay, Director Kelly has seconded it. Okay, we'll call the directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson is absent. Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
and Director Nyman's an aye. Motion carried, 3-0-2 absent. Okay, 15, discussion, vote on retaining, hiring a human resource firm.
All right, we have Karen Bonanno online. She's from PASS, human resource firm. And due to us trying to restructure the district and try to get back on a better footing, and because of some recent stuff going on at the water company, we thought it'd be a good idea to see what she has to offer. And so she's here to speak to you all. So if you have any questions or suggestions, then she's here for us.
Okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Karen. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I guess what I'll do is just kind of give you an overview of who we are, what we do. I know we've done some work with you guys in the past, but it's PAS Associates, and we're Human Resources Consulting. We do anything basically human resources related. The company has been around for 32, almost 33 years, and originally started by Holly Culhane. And 3 years ago, my family purchased the business and I became president, but I've worked there since 2005. So I've been there quite some time. And actually before that, I was for 22 years at BC Laboratories. So I'm very familiar with the district. We do a lot of work with you guys. So I'm very familiar with how you operate. As far as our services, we can make arrangements to do anything and pay for services as you need them and only call us, when you really have a need for something, or we have what we call an ongoing support service. For an organization your size, which I understand there's.
Okay, hold on a second, please.
Please.
Whoever's,
It's Stan.
Dan, can you mute
Could
yourself?
you mute
Thank
yourself?
you. Thank you. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Karen.
No problem. So you have six or seven employees typically, is my understanding.
Yeah, we got 5 employees and a general manager.
5 employees and a general manager, okay. And for a company of an organization of that size, it would be roughly an annual amount of about $2,000 to retain our services. Basically, you could call us 15, 20 times a day if you needed to. If John needed to, if there was somebody that he wanted in his office to call us and ask questions. This happened, what do we do? Somebody needs to go on a leave of absence, or I need to terminate somebody. What do we do? I need to write somebody up. How do I organize my personnel file? Just really anything and everything. And we consider it brief phone consultations, but anything under 30 minutes is what we consider brief. So that would be available to you, and then you would get discounted prices on project work like job descriptions or background checks or recruiting assistance. We can do, we have an employee hotline, but typically you're not going to need something like that for 5 employees. Usually it's something that's better handled with them. We also can look at your handbook, update your handbook, write a new handbook. That's something that we do for hundreds and hundreds of employers. And we have training. We have some online training. We have some training at our location. We're in downtown Bakersfield. We can bring training to you if need be. And so it just really depends on what your needs are and what type of situations that you have as to what kind of a package we can put together for you. And like I said, the base where you could be able to just call us anytime you need, and that's basically 24 hours a day, is about a $2,000 a year commitment for what we call our micro plan, since you have less than 10 employees. So are there any questions I can answer as far as who we are, what we do, anything about our company, anything about our services?
So just to let Terry, Director Kelling know, we did hire in the past for some things that we had going on, some issues. And we did, I think, basically this plan, but there were some additional things that didn't end up working so well because we had some concerns about drug testing back at that point. But I think, just the basic plan, we were able to use that to an extent, and I thought that was pretty successful. So that's kind of what I would be most interested in doing, and then possibly talking to you about the employee handbook, which I don't recall if you folks helped us with that in conjunction with our lawyer last time, or
Neil Myers did that.
Okay, yeah, I looked in your file, because we keep files from all the way back, and I didn't see any handbooks that we wrote. And yeah, as far as the drug testing, we do not write drug testing plans. That's something that's just not our expertise, so we can sub that out.
And would the employee hotline thing be included in that, or is that extra? Or?
No, that's it's an additional fee, and it's basically about $125 a month, and that's where your employees can call in if they have complaints or concerns and they don't feel comfortable going to Johnny or whoever might be their direct supervisor. And like I said, you don't typically see a need for that when you've only got 5 employees, unless you have a lot of issues.
Yeah, well, that's something you might want to consider for a short period of time.
And it could actually, it basically you could do it for a quarter at a time, 3 months at a time. It's not a long-term contract or anything like that.
I would like to say that with the restructuring and trying to get things back on a good footing, that micro plan or the basic plan seems like, we could save money just by not going to the attorney every time I need to learn how to phrase something or write something or whatever. So, it sounds like a great plan for me. And plus, we get a discount on revising the employee handbook. Just so you know, Karen, last time our employee handbook was written, it was written by an attorney in San Diego, but it's been 5 years, so
There's been a lot of changes since then, definitely.
Yeah.
Then you mentioned training. What kinds of training are you talking about?
We do all kinds, anything human resources related, team building related, but we also do the state required sexual harassment training. So we do that, and it can be, we have it at we don't have any training going on right now at our location because we can't do it yet, but we do have training at our location downtown. The sexual harassment, though, we have that available in online training so that it can just be emailed to somebody and you can satisfy that. I don't know if you've had your sexual harassment training or not, that's required by the end of this year.
Yeah, we do that through our insurance carrier, JPIA.
Oh, good, yeah.
But it may work out well to, when we get the employee handbook revised, to have somebody from your office come in and do like a training session on making sure everybody understands the employee handbook. And,
yes, and that's actually, when we do your handbook, that's actually included in the price the first time we do your handbook. We come up there and present it to your employees with you, and we do exactly that.
Yeah,
we train them how to read it, what to look at, why it's important, what policies are, more critical than others, and so on.
Right, and so what is the cost for the handbook, to work on the handbook?
If your handbook has not been updated in 5 years, it's pretty much starting over. And so if you did the mini plan, the $2,000, then the handbook price is $695. If you don't do the plan, then it's $995. So you get $300 off by signing up with us as an annual agreement.
Well, I think it's definitely worth it for doing the handbook. It's I'm sure it's going to take a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, we would provide you what we currently have, and then you would make suggestions for changes, and then if we wanted to add anything, we could give input to you. And
Yeah, we start out with a meeting, and that would either be with, you know, the GM or and board members, or all of it, it doesn't matter. We would sit down, we would take your handbook that you have, we would go through it with you and talk about the things that we need to put in, or things that have updated, maybe things that we don't think should be in there any longer. And we would do that, have that meeting with you initially, and then Tanya, who is our technical writer, would create the handbook. You would approve it, you know, there's some back and forth, changes, updates, whatever, and then we would come out and present it to the employees.
So is that back and forth included in that price?
It is, yes.
Okay, well, that's great.
okay, well, I mean, it sounds good to me. I don't, does anybody else have any other questions?
Well, I personally would like to see us do the base plan so that our GM has the opportunity to, you know, go to you with any questions that he has as we're trying to restructure a little bit. I also would like to do maybe a quarter and maybe just look at it quarterly in doing an employee helpline or hotline or whatever you want to call it, so that they were able to call in if they felt they needed to. I think that that's worth the money to just have that ability to talk to someone and see if you know their needs are being met. And sometimes it gets a little weird when they try to, I mean, in our handbook we have them coming to the board, but there's all that, it's very problematic because if they, you know, talk to a board member, you know, it makes us have to recuse ourselves and all kinds of stuff if we talk to them individually. So yeah, so I'd like to see something like that. So maybe a base contract with the handbook, with you know a few trainings that we want to do, but that it sounds like the handbook training's included, and then also that hotline so that the employees themselves would be able to call in and just maybe.
Now we could add other things later.
Oh, sure.
So basically we could do a basic, and then if we wanted to bring more to the board, you know, my question is whether we want to vote on this tonight or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna recommend that the sooner we get the employee handbook revised, the sooner we can start the restructuring in earnest. So that's my recommendation. I think that putting it off kind of puts us on the back burner for the restructuring and reorganizing.
Well, I personally think it's well worth the cost. So
in light of how much we've already spent on our lawyers, we didn't talk about that. We approved the budget, but I mean we approved not the budget, but the financials for this month. But we are spending quite a bit just having phone calls back and forth with a couple of lawyers just to make sure that we're doing things correctly. So I think it would be well worth our money to be for our GM to be able to call in, or would the board also be able to call in with questions?
Anybody you guys designate that's eligible to call in. Yeah, we keep the names on a list so that we know who we're able to talk to about that type of stuff.
Linda, you gotta unmute yourself. Linda, unmute yourself.
Okay, the legal fees were, for just this month, were $2,669.
Yeah.
So it would be advantageous to utilize those services.
Yeah. Terry Kelly, you have any comments or questions?
No.
No? Okay. Well,
I think what we could do is we could vote to move forward, but then we need to, as a board, look at the contract and just make sure we're with the contract. So I think tonight we could take a vote to move forward, and then we can,
okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I move, Director Schoenberg, that we move forward on retaining PASS for our human resources firm with a base contract. Which I forgot what the price you said, $2,000
per year.
$2,000 for the year, plus an additional, and we can go quarterly, a 3-month employee hotline, helpline, so that the employees can call in with any issues they may have, and also to retain them to move forward on a contract to retain them for our handbook. And we will need to look at the contract, so I'm suggesting that we put that on the agenda for hopefully we don't have too much for the planning meeting, but that we at least maybe put the contract on there, and then if we need to carry it over, we can carry it over to the regular meeting.
What is the date of that planning meeting?
Wait,
So, it's the fourth Thursday of this month.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that, yeah, we can get a contract to you within, tomorrow's Friday, probably
That would be,
Friday, Tuesday,
yeah, that would be the
next week.
25th.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. So do I hear a second?
I'll second that motion.
All right, roll call of directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson is absent. Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye. Motion carried. 302, 2 absent. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen, so much.
Thank you all very much for having me.
All right, bye.
Okay, now, moving on to number 16. What's
That
that?
covers 16. That covers 16.
Oh, and that covered up, yeah, okay. Moving on to 17. We asked Director Schoenberg.
Tiffany, if you could blend those two into one, or into one agenda item with two, like an A and a B or something for just actually I guess it needs an A, B, C because we need to look at the contract. So it would just be the contract would be the main item, and then there would be an A for the hiring for the base amount contract. There would be a B for the contract for the hotline, and a C for the contract for the handbook.
Yes, I will do that. I think Becky just came on, so let me note that.
Okay, does that make sense, Tiffany?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, that makes sense.
And I think you need to fix that phone number because it's coming up.
Who just came on?
Yeah, 1661.
On the the regular planning meeting.
Yeah, I'm saying, who just came on so I can write a name?
Who just joined the meeting?
Becky just did.
Okay.
Well, Director Gibson, welcome. She has come on the meeting at 6:55.
I'm so sorry, and I'm just joining so that I know what's happening, okay?
Yeah. Okay, we're glad you're
So
here.
sorry. Okay, kiddo.
You just missed the good stuff.
I did?
Yeah.
Should I be sad or glad?
No, you should be sad. It's good stuff.
Okay.
Okay,
Just to fill her in on the very last agenda item, since we haven't moved on to the next one yet, we did vote to retain PASS as a human resources firm at their base rate for a year, which was $2,000, and also to do a quarterly employee hotline, which I think is like 300 something. I think she said.
you said 125 a month.
A month.
Oh, geez, that sounds like a reasonable amount to me.
And then also to retain them to do the employee handbook, which they charge
$695.
$695, and
As long as we have the contract.
yeah, and so next meeting they're going to get a contract to us so we can just look over that contract and be okay with it. But we went ahead and voted to move forward on that.
Oh, I'm so glad, guys. Good work.
Okay, now we're gonna move on to number 17, vote on changing or continuing the modified services and procedures as adopted March 19th, 2020. We're open for discussion. I personally think that we need to continue the COVID services as we've done. I think should keep the office closed. And, I don't think we should change what we're doing, but that's my opinion. Any other directors have anything they wanna add?
Yeah, I agree with that opinion, because when I talk to like the doctors that I've gone to, they're at least gonna continue until the end of the year. So I think continuing at least to discuss it again next month is good.
Director Schoenberg? Director Schoenberg, go ahead.
I agree, and I'd like to move that we,
I think Director Allison wanted to say something.
GM Allison, yeah.
GM Allison, excuse me.
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to contribute to that is, a lot of places are reopening, and I would like to see, once we get the front counters situated to where, it's safer. Obviously we can't open now until we do that.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that really, require being able to walk in and get printouts and ask questions and stuff, especially some of our, customers that don't speak really good English. They do better speaking in person.
Yeah.
But for definitely the next month, I believe I agree with that. And then they reevaluate and see what the COVID numbers are at that time.
Okay.
yeah, that's what we're currently doing. I'm not for carrying it till the end of the year. I'm for just continuing until the next time this item comes up, which would be at our next regular meeting. So,
Yeah.
And I do want to continue, so my motion would be to continue with modified services and procedures as adopted on March 19th, 2020, and pursue getting the office, whatever we're calling that, the counter modified so that there's a divider between the public and our personnel.
But we just, we moved that to the next meeting.
Yeah, so we still got another month before.
Right, so you just need to motion to do the modified service because.
Right, I'm saying that right now on my motion is to continue the modified services and procedures as adopted on March 19, 2020, but I would like us to also move forward, which we will be doing at the next meeting, hopefully, on these. So I'm just putting that in there, that we can't open up until that moves forward.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I will second it.
Okay, Director Gibson has seconded it. All right, roll call of directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson?
Yes.
Director Kelly?
Yeah.
Director Schoenberg?
Right.
Actually, okay, she should be last. I'm screwing this up. Director Nymans and I, Director Schoenberg.
Right.
Okay, motion carried, 4-0-1, 1 absent. I screwed up the last one, Tiffany, sorry. I know we're supposed to go alphabetical and I guess I would, for some reason
You're gonna lose points for that. You lose points.
Yeah, I lose points for that one, I agree. Number 18, review and approve meeting minutes, okay. Let's see, for, May 14th, 2020.
Okay.
I looked at May 14th, 2020. I did not see any errors on that.
I didn't see any errors either, but I do have a question about something on page 4.
Okay.
It's the first full paragraph on the page. It starts with the motion.
Uh-huh.
And maybe since it's a motion, okay, it says that based on payments from February 1st, 2018 to June 3rd, it shouldn't say 20.
No.
Page 4
You're looking at the
of May
wrong
14th.
page. May 14th, I'm looking at page 4, I don't see that.
Page 4 at the top, I do. She's looking at the
Thank
first
you.
motion on page 4 up at the top, about halfway down the motion. It starts
Oh,
with.
based on payment, okay, go ahead.
Okay, it says it, for payments from February 1st, 2018 to June 3rd, shouldn't it say the year as well? Is that through 2020?
Yes.
Yes, that should have 2020 in there, that's a good catch. Very good catch.
Okay, so,
Director Gibson.
okay, so that's the only error I found. So
Okay.
if I could, go ahead and make a motion.
Okay, I entertain a motion. Oh, you can't
Okay,
make the
did we-
motion. You can't make the motion. You were
Oh, I
absent.
can't?
You were absent that day.
No, I wasn't.
No, she
No, I
was.
wasn't. I arrived at 6:15.
Oh, that's right. Okay, go ahead.
Thanks, Grandma. Gee.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I will make a motion that
That's what
we
happens when you
accept,
come late.
accept the minutes, yeah, I'm gonna quit doing that, okay? Accept the minutes for May 14, except for the, change that I mentioned, and the possibility for additional, amendments and, typos. I'm trying to read my writing.
Or other errors.
Typos, other errors that may have been missed or need to be corrected.
Right or second?
I just want to correct that. She said except for the amendment, you want with the amendment, correct?
Yes, with the amendment, sorry.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Director Kelly has seconded it, okay. Roll call of directors is, Director Garcia is absent, Director Gibson.
Yay,
Okay, Director, Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's an aye, Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 401, one absent. The only other thing, I was wondering on that, Tiffany, if, you know, you have the time when she arrived, did you want where it says absent Gibson, that you should put in there arrived and the time up by her name?
but she did put it on the second page, and I think this happened before with another director.
It did happen, and I do think that it's really important that we put in parentheses or something. I think I had asked for that at some earlier point because it's very confusing. So we think that person's absent through the whole meeting, and they're not. And I had brought that up one of the times I was absent and came in.
Maybe just put arrived and the time in parentheses next to her name. Is that possible, Tiffany?
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, perfect. Okay, then let's, we'll go on to, let me see where I'm at here. Okay, May 21st, this is, May 21st, 2020. The only error I found is that, you changed the name, it should be Director Nyman announced closed session.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah, so that's the only error I found, so we can make that change, and, so I would entertain a motion, unless anybody has anything else they see.
No, I didn't find anything.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to approve these minutes.
Okay,
Well, I'll make a motion.
you wanna do it, Terry? Okay,
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes for, the special meeting on Thursday, May 21st, 2020, with the correction noted, and with the possibility for additional amendments or typos, or other errors that may not have been caught, or that may need to be corrected.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I will second it.
Okay, roll call of directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Kelly, I need Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, Director Schoenberg.
Well,
Okay, motion carried, 4-0-1, one absent. Okay, on to, special meeting minutes for Thursday, May 28th, 2020.
it's just the same issue with Director Kelly announcing.
Right, exactly, so on the closed meeting one, closed session one, you need to make that change to Director Nyman. And I didn't see anything else, so, I would entertain a motion, to approve with that change.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting on Thursday, May 28th, 2020, with the correction noted and with the possibility for additional amendments or typos or errors that may not have been caught or that may need to be corrected.
Actually, I think there's one other correction on that. It has, on number 5 on the adjournment, it has Director Garcia abstaining, but I think it was because Director Garcia wasn't able to come back on the meeting. So it wasn't actually an abstention, it was a temporary absence.
Oh, yeah, I wondered about that too, Lisa.
What do we wanna put on there, Tiffany? What do you think we should put?
I would ask Director Schoenberg what she wants on there.
Didn't abstain, he
was absent for a minute, because he didn't get back on the meeting. Yeah.
had to leave early.
I think you need to note before the adjournment that Director Garcia needed to leave or left, and then put him as an absent. So note between number 4 and number 5 that as we came out of the closed session, that Director Garcia left, because he actually left between the closed session and the adjournment, correct?
Right, you should put,
back in.
right,
So
you should say that he had technical difficulties.
Right, so he actually left in the closed session.
Right, so after, right under 4, underneath there, say that he left during because he had technical difficulties and was not able to come back for the adjournment. And then you can make him absent.
Correct.
Okay, so,
Want me to restate the motion?
sure, just restate it.
Now we got more corrections.
Yeah, so you don't need to say these corrections, you just need to say as amended.
Oh, okay, as amended. And then Rebecca's got I'll accept that friendly amendment, those are friendly amendments.
Yes, do you accept that amendment, Director Gibson?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so then, did we do roll call?
Not yet.
I'll do it, okay. Roll call of directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I, and Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried, 4-0-1, one abstention. Okay, on to the minutes of regular planning meeting minutes for Thursday, May 28th, 2020. Did anybody find any errors? I didn't.
No, I didn't either.
Look to make sure that I didn't find any errors. So with that, if nobody has any corrections, I would entertain a motion.
Okay, I will make a motion that we accept the minutes for May 28th, the meeting at 6 o'clock for the regular planning meeting with the amendments, well, there's no amendments made, but with the possibility for amendments or typos that we either missed or that, and, to correct it.
Oh, okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, we'll call our directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I. Director Schoenberg.
I'm gonna abstain because I hadn't finished that one.
Okay, so it's 4-1-1 motion 3-1-1 motion carried, 1 abstention and 1 absence. Okay, with that, number 19, discussion vote on future agenda items.
I'd like to make one statement about this meeting,
Yes.
if I could. Since I got here so late, which was totally unintentional, I just wanted to chime in so that I could be a part of it and hear what I could hear, but I did not expect to be paid for this meeting.
Okay. So is there any other future agenda items we need to add?
I don't have anything.
Okay, I think Tiffany's got everything we need at this point, so if that's the case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Do I hear a
That's
second?
why I came to the meeting.
Good for you.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Director Kelly is seconded. We'll call our directors. Director Garcia is absent. Director Gibson.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Nyman's and I. Director Schoenberg.
Aye.
Okay, motion adjourned meeting adjourned at 7:14. All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, Tiffany.